Welcome to The Right Focus, a podcast for writers, newbies, and veterans, and everyone in between. We're hosted by M.A. Lee with the assistance of Remy Black and Edie Rooms, all from Writers Inc. books. Our focus is productivity, process, craft, and tools. Each episode lasts as long as it takes to fix a quick dinner, grab a short commute, or take a brisk walk. Resources and links are in the show notes. Visit us at therightfocus.blogspot.com. Now, on to this week's episode. Hi, everyone. It's the second check-in for the Word Count Challenge here in August. I've managed to meet my goal of 500 words daily, no matter the interruptions. Things have tugged at me every day of the past week. The massive part of the day is lost, no writing. But early mornings and late evenings have saved me, and twice. Both morning and evening writing saved me. At our last check-in, the first draft of the third short story was finished and needed a week's separation before revision started. After errands in the cool morning, the writing part of Wednesday began, with something I should have done when I uploaded the first Word Count Challenge file to the media outlets, and that was to create a playlist for the series with a description. That gave me about 50 words. Then I turned to another fixing job, last corrections on the second short story. Those corrections added 128 words for a grand total of the short story of 6,362 words, but we're only counting the 128. Next on the to-do list, I created the anthology document for these short stories and added in the first two short stories, along with front and back matter to the document. A good bit of the afternoon, a document of close to 13,000 words, and I can count only the new words, about 50 of them, as part of the back matter. I'm sick of the laptop at that point. I'm not certain I will ever return to 8-hour laptop days. Thus, with only a page of notes, I tucked in to writing the fourth short story, approximately 300 new words, and an opening page and a bit that I really like. For Wednesday then, 528 words. Lots of laptop time, lots of old words, but we're only counting the new ones, not hours spent, not total words. On Thursday, the interruptions picked back up, and morning and evening writing resumed, squeezing out words until 500 new ones were achieved. Friday the same, Saturday the same. But a suspicion was lurking in my mind. Everything seems to flow smoothly, but I know I've missed some steps in setting up the mystery to come. When I managed to get to my writing time on Sunday, I realized that the original motivation for the character situation is missing, and it cannot be conveyed as one huge info dump. I spent a couple of hours deciding what details are needed and where to incorporate them, how long those inserts need to be, and how involved the inserts need to become. When I finish, I have well over 2 pages of insertions to add in, which counts for 500 approximate words. That's a conservative approximation, but I'll stick with that. Monday began with an unexpected disruption just as I'm heading to start my writing time, with the hopes that I'll get ahead. But no. The disruption did end about an hour before I anticipated. I can manage 2 writing sessions away from the laptop. Over last night, I realized the reason for the murder in the story needs snippets of setup, so it's more insertions, about 400 words worth. For the second session, I decided to draft the next newsletter in my 2-year celebration. A bit on writing, a bit on how this story surprised me as a reader and a writer, and then the setup for the novel's promotion at the end of the newsletter. Monday ended with approximately 900 words, and we're on to Tuesday and the drafting for this episode. How are we on the 6 rules of this challenge? Rules 1 and 2, daily writing with a minimum of 500 words, check and check. Rule 3, 2 complete pages in rough form, check. Rule number 4, no days off, check. Rule number 5, 3,500 words per week, check. Number 6, missed word count made up ASAP, not needed. Thus, for the first and second week of the challenge, I'm on track to win, even with disruptions. What's next? Recording and posting this podcast on tap for the next hour. Continuing with the rough shape of the fourth short story. After multiple false starts with the first 2 short stories, the launch into this fourth one went very well. Even though I had to back up and insert elements, that's not a biggie. I'm pleased with the first half of the story, and the rest of the story will contain 3 major surprises, the first one coming in the next writing session. I have the first proof of the third short story coming up. We've a week of distance and all those words between drafting the third short story and starting proof 1. The easy flow of that story means that I don't anticipate major changes. Then I have setting up the newsletter on the email. That's time and few new words, so I will need a multiple session day instead of a day with heavy disruptions. I need a check-in for audio codes for Defeat Writer's Block and creating the promotions after I ensure everything published on the 8th, ebook, paperback, and audiobook. That should probably be first on Wednesday. And I need to consider the 5th and final short story of the collection. At the moment, the idea for the short story is nebulous. I'll need more than that to start. That's all thinking, no words, and not countable. Next week is full before the week starts, and the week after has all those anticipated disruptions. Can I maintain the 6 rules? Will I ever jump back to my 2,500 words for 5 days a week of a year ago before all the distractions and disruptions happened? We shall see. Check back for next week's check-in. Until then, write on, for whatever word count keeps you progressing. Thanks for listening to The Write Focus, a podcast for writers at all levels, hosted by Emma Lee from Writers Inc. Books, assisted by Renee Black and Edie Runes. Our focus is productivity, process, craft, and tools. Music is licensed through Audio Jungle, called Background Music Loop. Its creator is Alexander Polishchuk, known on Audio Jungle as Plastic 3. The music comes in different iterations. Show notes and resource links for this and other episodes can be found at thewritefocus.blogspot.com. Write to us at winkbooks@aol.com when you have questions, comments, and speculations. We will try to answer you as quickly as possible. By the way, we will not mind your email address. That's rude. If you find value in our content, share with your writing friends or write a review. We're small beans here without the advertising budget of the big peeps, and you can make a difference. And whatever occurs, write on.